Welcome, VC. North Carolina Picker here. Friday evening. Hope you had a nice day. We spent the day in the North Carolina mountains. I had one find today. That was at a Goodwill up there. And for 50 cents, I just couldn't leave it on the shelf. And everybody's probably seen this record if you're of a certain age. It is A Nod is as good as a wink to a blind horse. And that would be Faces. And I believe it's their third album. It's the only one I ever heard of when I was a kid. And it's a little rough shape, but it's probably been through a lot. And it's pretty old. But for 50 cents, I just couldn't leave it there in the Goodwill on the shelf any longer. I had to rescue it. That's what I do. Also, record store finds. I found a few in a record store. I believe it was Thursday. I didn't do a show last night. Trying to still organize my room in here, my media room, so to speak. And let's go. Let's run through these real quick. I'll show you what I found. Love Leon Russell, and I had this album back in the day. It's got Tightrope on it, Masquerade. I first heard Leon Russell, I believe it was on the Concert for Bangladesh, which I have. I was in New Jersey. It was at 1970, so I would have been probably in about the 6th grade, something like that. Needless to say, I didn't go. But I wasn't far from Madison Square Garden when they had the show. Probably only 25, 30 miles. But a little too young, I suppose, and no one took me, so I didn't attend. But that would have been an awesome show with Bob Dylan and George Harrison, Eric Clapton, and the rest. And Leon, let's have a couple from Leon. So, love this album. I'm glad I found it. It's in really good shape. I cleaned it all up, and it sounds really good. I played it last night. This album here, I probably have 3 or 4 copies, but I wasn't going to leave this one in the store. Everybody's seen this one here, Moody Blues classic, Question of Balance. But this is a Taiwan pressing. Pretty cool. Looked it up in Discogs, and it shows it, but it doesn't show it's ever been sold, and it doesn't show anybody's looking for it. But it's pretty cool. Everybody can see that. I found a few of these so far. I had a Neil Diamond one and another one. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they really sound pretty. They sound pretty good. And the third album is Linda Ronstadt, her first band, the Stone Ponies, Evergreen Volume 2. And someone took her hair and then used some kind of a pen and gave her silver highlights. Kind of weird. But the album is definitely old. And it sounds pretty good. I'd say it's a VG. I wouldn't say it's a plus. But the price was right, and I have never seen this album in the wild. So I picked it up. And I really like Linda Ronstadt. Got a few things, a few tidbits of hers, some pictures and stuff I'll show another time. I have to dig them out. I'm slowly going through all my stuff here. And once I get to all that, then I'll be showing some of that cool stuff. By request, by somebody in my one of my subs. He's actually my nephew. He asked me if I would do a tribute to the band Yes. We're gonna start with the first album, all the way from Peter Banks to Yes Official, which is pretty much the Steve Howe band. They just released a new song on Apple Music, and a new album is coming out soon with John Davidson, who's now the lead singer. John Anderson's been gone about 10 years now, and that's a whole other story for another day. And Chris Squire, of course, passed away about 4 years ago. So as of now, there is no member of the band that was a beginning member from the first album. Peter Banks was their first guitarist. He stayed on for 2 albums, and then the Yes album came out, and they switched to Steve Howe, and then they made their classic albums with the Yes album, and then Relayer, going backwards. Tales of Topographic Oceans, Close to the Edge, and Fragile, and then of course the Yes album was the first album. So like that. And then also I wanted to show something tonight, which was I found this. I can't really remember the whole story. It was like around 1990s, mid 90s, and I'm not sure if it was sent to me or if I went to the store. I know I met this guy probably through Goldmine magazine or something like that. But he had a record store, and I used to have the business card, but I couldn't find it. He had a record store in Cocoa, and this is what I was going to show you. This is really cool. Are you all ready for this? Here's the Pink Floyd picture disc. This is the original Wish You Were Here picture disc. And I had a re-release of this. A reissue, I guess. But you can see who signed this. David Gilmour and Roger Waters. They were. At the time, I talked to him on the phone. He told me that they were actual signatures. And I've had this now for 30 years, I guess. And also, he sent me this, which I don't even remember how much I paid for both of these. It's so long ago. But this is pretty cool, too. If you're a Moody Blues fan, this is a VHS tape of Time and Space Messengers. And you can read what it says there. It's the Time and Space Messengers prepared for television by Tom Morley Productions. Tom Morley was the guy who owned the store. Time is 26 minutes. Produced at Communications Concept, 1980, North Atlantic Avenue, Cape Canaveral, Florida, in cooperation with the Moody Blues. And then it lists Justin Hayward, John Lodge, Graham Edge, and Ray Thomas. Copyright 1993. So there you go. It's, like I say, early to mid 90s, and he made this VHS tape, and I believe it was filmed in Cape Canaveral. I watched it one time, long time ago. Filmed at Cape Canaveral, and it was for television. Now, whether it was shown or not, I'm not sure if it was actually shown on TV. Might have been on PBS or something, or it said it was prepared for TV. So that's probably something I could look up. It might be. If you Google it, you might come up with it. But it's really cool. I remember watching it, and I have a VHS player that's in it with a little mini TV. So I might work on that and give it a listen, and then I'll give you all a review on it. So we're going to do the band Yes. That's going to be exciting. That's going to be good. And then also, I want to thank all my subscribers. I'm over 30 now, and I'm feeling very grateful. You stay safe out there. Everybody stay safe and have a nice Friday evening. And we'll be talking to you soon, most likely this weekend. I'll start putting together the Yes Show. We'll call it the Yes Show. And we'll be talking about everybody that's been in the band, including Trevor Rabin. We'll talk about Trevor. We'll talk about Alan White. We'll talk about Chris Squire. We'll talk about John Anderson. We'll talk about John Davidson. Talk about Steve Howe. Can't leave Steve out. Well, probably some would like to. And the rest of the people that have been in and out of the band. Patrick Moraz, who was in for one album, Relayer. Talk about Eddie Jobson. Eddie Jobson was in 90125 for a short time. When they made the video from 90125, I'm not sure what the song was, but Eddie Jobson's actually in the video. Eddie Jobson, of course, is from UK, Roxy Music, and he did some solo work. He's a keyboardist, and he plays the electric violin. He's got a really good album. It's called The Green Album. If you ever run across that, and all you prog fans out there, it also has has Gary Green on the album. Gary Green is on the Green Album, and of course Gary Green is from Gentle Giant. So there's the connection there. Hope everybody likes my my shirt, Seconds Out shirt. I saw that tour when Genesis went through. That was the Wind and Weathering tour, and I seen it twice. I seen it at the Madison Square Garden, and then the next night we drove over to the Spectrum in Philly, and we saw the show again. So I got to see that show twice. So it has a special meaning to me that I actually saw that show twice. Seeing how I love Genesis, and that's going to be another show for another day. We'll dive deep into their catalog, and we'll go all the way from Revelation to when they walked across the stage in We Can't Dance, and then Calling All Stations Without Phil. We'll even talk about that. And it's not a bad album. There's a couple good songs on that album with Ray Wilson. It's not a complete washout. But yes, we'll talk about the concert that almost was on the We Can Dance when I drove all the way to Tampa. Phil sang one song and said he was sick and left the stage. And that was the end of that. It was the last time we saw Genesis, me and my nephew. So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm rambling on here a little bit. So I'm up to 11 minutes. I'm going to let you all go. You'll have a good Friday evening and enjoy your weekend. And like I say, I'm going to be working on that video for Yes. Bye-bye for now.